Lyme disease is the most common vector-borne illness in the country. Often it transmits to humans through tick bites. Here to tell us some of the best ways to protect yourself from the disease is Dr. Robert Orlino with Ballad Health. Dr. Orlino, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, we know it's very important to talk about this for so many reasons, but it is getting warmer outside, and so folks are going to be going out more and more. So let's start with the basics. What is Lyme disease?
Lyme disease is a tick-borne disease, and typically it occurs this time of season, and typically it can affect children, it can affect adults, and it's important to be aware of that so you could check yourself.
Let's talk a little bit about what some of the symptoms are and how it is diagnosed.
Okay, as far as symptoms go, the very first symptom that usually appears is a target rash, what we in medical jargon call erythema migrans. And eventually that gets a little bit bigger. People become concerned and then will come in to be evaluated. In some cases, they actually have a tick that bites them, and then they'll come in and say, there's a tick here, can you remove it? There are different stages of the disease. That's the initial. The latter part can affect the heart, can affect the nervous system, and the very latent part of the disease can affect the joints, where they develop arthritis and severe neurological disorders. So it's important to get diagnosed and treated early. Early treatment, better outcomes.
Speaking of treatment, what are some of the treatment options?
Typically, treatment is mainly antimicrobial therapy, antibiotics. So we typically do that. And in some cases, depending on how severe the disease is, we may have to use intravenous type of antibiotics.
And we know that there are other types of tick-borne illnesses. Lyme disease isn't the only one, so let's talk about some of those.
Well, in different parts of Virginia, there's Rocky Mountain spotted fever, where you could get a lot of myalgias, fever, usually a rash that starts in the lower extremity and moves its way up. There's another entity called babesia, which can cause a lot of blood disorders along with the symptoms that I previously described. Ehrlichia is another form, all tick-borne. So a lot of it basically is the presentation and symptoms.
And let's talk about some safety tips. Like I mentioned before, it's getting warmer out. We know folks are going to be out hiking, camping, doing all those fun things. So what are some ways that they can protect themselves?
Well, I think once you come out from the outdoors, particularly if you've been in a wooded area, it's pretty common to take your clothes off, take a shower. If you have children, look to make sure you don't see any evidence of any ticks. If you do see ticks, don't panic. If they're running around, you could just flake them off. They do not cause Lyme disease. But if they're embedded and you're concerned, then that's the time to get evaluated.
Now, are there any certain spots that people should be more aware of? Like, are they prone to go maybe to the head versus the ankle?
Yeah, most people that walk in the grass or in the wooded area, usually it'll be lower extremities. Children, you'll find it up higher, usually in the head or the face, because they tend to be shorter. So basically, a lot of times they may or may not realize that they have ticks until they notice the tick on them.
Well, great tips and such important information. Dr. Orlino, thank you so much for joining us here on First at 4.